Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Welcome to the final round of English debate competition. POSMA, Pekan Olahraga Seni Madrasah Aliyah Negeri 2021. The honorable adjudicators and all participants of English debate contest, and also all the audience. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Istiqomah as the chairman of this debate. I will chair this contest. On my right side is Mr. Dihan as the timekeeper. We have three adjudicators. The first adjudicator is Miss Unggul Dina Naranita. The second adjudicator is Mr. Supriyatno, and the third adjudicator is Miss Santi Anggra Mini. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now let me introduce the debaters. On my right side is the affirmative team. Acting as the first speakers will be Najma Indi Ahna, and acting as the second speaker is Miss Fatima, and acting as the third speaker is Miss Arma Rahma Amalia. On my left side, there is the negative teams or the opposite teams. Acting as the first speaker is Miss Naila Ilma Isdi, and the second speaker is Miss Anidia Nasmi Humaira, and the third speaker will be Mr. Jatira Chumoyo. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have learned about the rules and the regulation of this contest. We will come to the debate. I would like to invite the first speaker from the affirmative team. For Miss Najma, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Excellency all of the adjudicator, the timekeeper and chairpersons, and unforgettable all of the participants of English debate contest whom I love. Ladies and gentlemen, me Indi as the first speaker of affirmative team set of the house, and I'm going to talk about what is boarding school, and then my second speaker would bring the topic about how to build student character, and then my third speaker will summarize our point. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, do you know what is boarding school? Boarding school should be seen as merely which basically on religion, or even just boarding school without background of religion. And the characteristic of boarding school is equipped with various supporting facilities that are more complete than regular public schools, because boarding school are not only concerned the academics of their students, but also prioritize the spirituality of students. Ladies and gentlemen, boarding school, because boarding school, the students in boarding school have more independent life, because they brave to live far from their families, their father, their mother, their brothers, or their sister. Based on status quo right now, boarding school is effective in building students' character. Because what? Because like the boarding school at MTS Binaul Ummah Daerah Bantul. They already refers to the goal of improving the good characteristic of their students by the vision and mission of the school. And what is a good character? Namely, the character that is implanted in a personal soul, including religion, honesty, tolerance, discipline, and etc. Ladies and gentlemen, let's turn into our argumentation. Why boarding school is effective in digital era? Because one, educator easier to control students' development 24 hours by the teacher. And second is all students' activities has been programmed and clearly scheduled. The third is integrated education pattern between emphasis on religion education, and this the concept of boarding school. How to build students' character? Like this: rules becoming habits, habits becoming attitude, and that is all the steps how so effective boarding school in building students' character. Ladies and gentlemen, so we believe that we are more solutive because we have methodology and steps how to build students' character. Thank you.
Thank you for Mrs. Najma.
The duration from the first speaker of affirmative team is 3 minutes 2 seconds.
Thank you very much for Ms. Najma, and I would like to invite the first speaker from the negative team. From for Ms. Naila is Ilmas Izli. Time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks for the directors, honorable judges, and the audience. First of all, let me introduce the members from the negative team. My name is Naila Inais Putri as the first speaker, Anindya Nastif Maira as the second speaker, and Jatitra Jumoyo as the third speaker. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the madrasah to provide a boarding school for the students. So I want to make a rebuttal for the Prime Minister word that she said if we use this boarding school system, the student will have an independent life, and their schedule will be more scheduled. But if we want the student to have an independent life and the schedule is scheduled, we can take the student to the rent house. Rent house is kind of same of the boarding school, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, as the negative team, I would like to give you time split. That first speaker, which is Naila, will give you justification. Second speaker, Anindya, will give you counter impact, and the third speaker, Jati, will give you full of rebuttals. Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our goals. Our goal is we want to deny this boarding school system because we believe that this system has more negative impact than the positive impact for the student if the student life in the boarding school, such as infection, disease, and many more. If the student life in a boarding school. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our mechanism. Our mechanism is we can still make the independent life and the scheduled life for the student by the student can rent a house. And this is also if the student rent a house, this is also reducing the risk of bullying and the cost will be also more cheap if we use this rent a house. They will rent a house with their friends and the cost will be more cheap if the student use this method that they are rent a house. Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our justification. There are second justification that I would like to give to you. That the first justification is about expensive cost that the parents should cost for if their children live in a boarding school. Parents should cover the school cost and also the boarding cost if we use this boarding school system. And not all parents can cover this cost if we use this boarding school system. So this system has more negative impact than the positive. And for the second justification, that there's no privacy for the student if we live in a boarding school. Because in boarding school, we live together with the other humans, and there's no privacy a boarding school because I feel like because I also live in a boarding school. So that's all for me. We believe that we oppose this motion. Thank you.
The duration of the speaker from the negative team is 3 minutes 5 seconds.
Now I would like to invite a second speaker from the affirmative team for Miss Fatima. Time is yours.
Oke, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm as the second speaker from affirmative team. First, I want to rebut the first speaker of opposition team. Okay, the first speaker said if boarding school can give the infection disease, but we believe in the boarding school there are any cleaning service, and the boarding school give the rules for every student to the obligation to cleaning their room or their area in boarding school. So infection disease can be solved by cleaning the environment temporarily. And they also say about independency can train in-house because of the schedule. But we believe in the boarding school there are any rule, and all of students must obey the rule, and the rule has the punishment. As the first speaker said of affirmative, the rule becoming habit and habits becoming attitude. And they also say about expensive costs if in boarding school, but we say no because the parents who really cares about the character of their children will choose the boarding school to building their students' character. If the expensive cost is the problem, it has been chosen by them at the beginning. Okay, let's turn to our argumentation. Boarding school. Boarding school is the educational model. And boarding school educational model for spiritual and academic education. And the purpose of boarding school is to make good character by accompanying and habituation by the rules. And rules made for positive impact for independency. In boarding school, students far from home, and it will train their independency because they will do everything, will do their own needs by themselves. And boarding school can train teamwork because they live together, they do something together, so it will train their teamwork. And tolerance, because they live with their friends, it will train tolerance more than in home environment. Thank you.
The duration from the second speaker of affirmative team is 3 minutes 4 seconds.
Now the turn from the second speaker from the negative team. Please welcome Miss Anindya Nasri Humaira.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Anindya as the second speaker of the opposition team. Here I would like to give you first about the rebuttals and second about the portion and break based on the motion Madrasah to provide for the two portion. First, I have to write.
Sorry. Error.
Okay, started.
Okay. Please start now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Anindya as the second speaker of the opposition team. Here I would like to give you first about the debates and second about the future impact based on the motion that madrasah should provide for the school for students. So before going on to my future impact, there are two points I would like to give to second speaker of the affirmative team. So when second speaker said that live in boarding school can build good character for students, it's wrong, ladies and gentlemen, because based on my experience, which is I live in boarding, some of the students sometimes don't go on time to do their duty, like try to gather atmosphere and do their tasks. And not all students must have a good character, although they live in boarding, because not all students could get the lessons that Ustad or Ustazah taught, and not all students can obey the rules in the boarding school. So it's wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that's all my remarks. Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my first impact based on the motion. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, don't only talk about the positive effect if we live in the boarding. Why? Because there are so many negative effects that we can get if we live in the boarding. Such as the first speaker said before, like we can easy to get the disease. Okay. If the way of sleeping still together or not one bed one student, it can make students too easy to contract the disease like flea problems or various skin disease. Not only that, live in the boarding can make us to be extravagant individuals, because when we get our monthly pocket money from the parents, sometimes we think that the money will not easy to be run out. So we will buy many unnecessary things or a lot of snack like that. So in the end, we don't realize that the money is finally run again. So the student will ask will ask money from their parent again. So because of some negative impact that we can get if we live in boarding school, we believe if the madrasah shouldn't provide boarding school for students. So we believe we oppose this motion. Thank you.
Yeah, the lesson from the second speaker of negative team is 2 minutes 42 seconds.
Now the turn from the third speaker from the affirmative team. Please welcome Miss Irma Rahma Amelia.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Me, Irma, as the third speaker from the affirmative team, I want to sum up our point outright. Okay, they said that at the home we can schedule at house because home same with boarding school. But we say no, because what? Because at boarding school we learn study, we more study about character, and then after we study we can apply it and it can be habit, and it is more effective to build up the student's character. And this is also at home can make independence life by the student. But we say no, because what? Because it is not effective. If at boarding school they far from the parents, and it is more make the independence by student, the independence of student. And if the student wanna meet the parents, they can be the technology. There is WhatsApp. They can video call with their parents. And they said also
we say no. Because what? Because at the boarding school is same. The parents just give the money to eat, and then to pay the electric and the other. It is same with the student at home. The parents give the student at home money to eat and to school. And this is also in the boarding school can make individualists, but in the reality now the boarding school is many of friends. They can use together with their friends. They can make this social interaction with their friends. And the boarding school, it is time to make the character of social to application of the sociality at the end of the day. And we believe that boarding school is effective to build students' character, and we absolutely to be the winner and you be the loser. Thank you.
Okay, the duration from the third speaker of argumentative team is minutes to seconds.
Now the turn from the third speaker of the negative team. Please welcome Mr. Jatindra Jumoyo.
Ladies and gentlemen, me as the third speaker of the opposite side of the house, my name is Jati, would like to give you rebuttals and then some new arguments from me personally. And then the next rebuttals for the first speaker of the government side of the house. Okay, so she said she just only give definition and argument and also don't give goals and mechanism, which is very fatal for us, that it will fail if the government is doing that. And then the next point is that they also do not give limitation, as long as I remember about what kind of madrasah it is, Ibtidaiyah, Sanawiyah, or it is Aliyah. And then move on to the second speaker of the government side of the house. She said that they can reduce the infection of disease by way of cleaning the boarding temporarily. But they also don't mention how much time they clean the boarding school temporarily. And if the time is just 6 months on or 6 months or 1 year on to clean the boarding school, so it is not helping the problem, right? And then she also said that with this boarding school program, it trained the student teamwork, but also not providing example what kind of teamwork. And then for the third speaker of the government side of the house, he said that students can connect with their parents using social media. But it is also wrong, ladies and gentlemen, because in boarding school, the ustads will collect their phone so they cannot connect with their parents. And then, next to my argument, that proving that we are totally not agree with this motion, is that in the several boarding schools in Indonesia, specifically in Banyumas, there are some problems like the student's sexual orientation is changed because in boarding school, the boys will be grouped with the boys also, and also the girls will be grouped with the girls. So that makes their sexual orientations change. That strengthen our statement that we don't fully agree or not agree at all with this motion. I would like to remind to you about my argument that sexual orientation is changed because of the boys group with the boys and the girl group with the girls. It is happening. Yeah, the evidence is in the boarding school in Banyumas in Indonesia. Then, so I would also like to remind you my rebuttals for the second speaker of the house that clean the boarding temporarily, but not explaining or not telling us how much time they need. That if it's done just only 1 time or 2 times in a year, it will not help the disease of the disease. Right? That's pretty much all from me. Thank you very much.
Congratulations from the third speaker of negative team is 3 minutes 3 seconds.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to the reply speech. The person from the negative team, please, Miss Naila Ilma Isdi. Time is yours.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as the reply speaker, I want to review what's going on this debate. And there are two lesson points that I would like to give to you. That the first lesson point is in the perspective of the negative side. Negative side says that about the expensive cost if we use this boarding school system, and then there is no privacy if we use this boarding school system for the student. And the second is in the perspective of the affirmative says that about this system will make the student have an independent life and build student character. But ladies and gentlemen, they don't exactly meaning the good student character. They don't exactly tell what the good student character is a good character or a bad character. So also I want to have a question for the first speaker, second speaker, and the third speaker. The first speaker, there's no definition mechanism and goals from the first speaker that should be her job. Also, if there's no mechanism, and why can't you know what's their mechanism from the point of view of the affirmative time if the first speaker don't bring any mechanism? And for the second speaker is their rebuttals is unnatural, ladies and gentlemen, and they don't bring any solution for the problem. And for the third speaker is that they don't bring any new argument. They just have a rebuttals for the argument for the hour's argument and for the negative team. So ladies and gentlemen, from those starting point, I have made a conclusion that not all students will be a better person if their life in boarding school. For example, that proved because I live in boarding school too, that not all person will be a good person if you live in a boarding school. Thank you.
The question from the reply of the speaker of negative team is 2 minutes 16 seconds.
Now, the turn from the affirmative team to give her reply speech. Please welcome Ms. Najma Indi Ahmad. Fatima. Please welcome Ms. Fatima.
Okay, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the reply speaker from affirmative team. So this is the debate happened today. In our team, first speaker has explained about the understanding of boarding school, the characteristic of boarding school, and boarding school is not only a conquest the academic but also spiritual education. And she can explain with MTS 1 Planet Baluran Bantul create good character, namely Quranic character. And she also explained about the concept of boarding school in building students' character. Okay, in our debate, the second speaker from negative team said if boarding school is not effective. The second speaker of negative team said if boarding school is effective to building students' character is wrong. But if they want to say wrong, they have to have parameter and they don't broke that. And the second speaker from affirmative team has explained about the boarding school as educational model for building students' character and what's the character that's built from boarding school. with boy or girl with girl happen. Okay, thank you so much.
Well, the lesson from the replay of the figure of the affirmative team is 2 seconds. 23 minutes, 23